NERDSoul. At OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. And what is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, we got a special episode, a movie review for you. We're going to be talking about Get Out. And since the movie's been out for a while, guess what? We're going to be spoiling this joint. So if you haven't seen the film, go on and go watch it and then come back. Now, since I'm your host, I got to introduce you to a lovely, wonderful co-host of mine, Dr. Lisa. What's up?
Hey, y'all. How's it going, guys?
All right, cool. Now, let's get into the film. I know you guys have seen it. You know, you're here. We're about to talk about it. Lisa, what was your first impression of this film?
It has a lot of layers. I was not expecting there to be so many layers. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that.
All right. I'd say that I was blown away by just the story, the way it was conveyed, just like the atmosphere that they created at this house. It really impressed me, the level of skill that Jordan Peele just expressed on this joint. It's just incredible to see this film shine the way it was, especially it being kind of like a sleeper hit. You know, we all saw the trailer. You know, we figured, you know, this might be good.
Yeah.
and you know, above and beyond what I thought it could be. Now, before we move on, I want to give a big shout out to my people at Black Hollywood Live, because if y'all didn't know, I am now available on Black Hollywood Live. And if you don't know about them, they do movie reviews, after shows, celebrity questions and interviews, and they follow Black Twitter, and you can find them at blackhollywoodlive.com. It is so cool. Every week they got new content coming for you, and it is super dope. And if you want to see more, you can check out youtube.com/blackhollywoodlive. Now, on to just the way that this played out. There's like a kind of reality of this fear, especially for Black people. There was a reality in this. How did you feel that they brought this across, or how, you know, the film brings this across?
I like that it made that fear magnified like 10 times.
Okay.
This had to have been the most extreme situation, you know, we could be in as a Black person, but we were still able to look at it and say, I kind of understand the situation he's in. You know, he's in this situation, you know, meeting this girl's family for the first time and finds out, oh, by the way, I didn't tell him you were Black. You know, so then you're worried about that. And then there's this party with all these white people, and the Black people that are there are servants, or, you know, like Black people from outer space, it seems like. So even though this is to the extreme, we could still relate to being in those situations.
Yeah. I would say that there's a lot of day-to-day, you know, experiences that go right into this film. Now, of course, they have to because it's a movie, so they have to fit it into 2 hours. But all of these situations are situations that, you know, Black men and women deal with from day to day. And it was just interesting seeing how he handled it, how he navigated it, how he tried to just kind of like get it over with, if you will. But dealing with something like this it's scary. It's not, I mean, we deal with it so much that it's not, you know, it doesn't catch us off guard, but it is one of those things that you worry about when you go to, you know, an event or something like this, and you're like, man, am I going to get these type of questions, or am I going to have this type of interaction? And it can be worrisome at times. Now, speaking of the reality of the fear, the crowd really was into this movie.
I'm glad you segued into that. Because the gentleman on our row,
oh man,
he was enjoying this a little bit too much for my comfort. This white gentleman, he was tickled, okay? Just downright tickled at a lot of moments that weren't appropriate to be tickled. Yeah.
Look, the one that I remembered the most was there was this scene where one of the servants walked across in the background, and this woman, like a couple rows back, just screams. And it is hilarious. Like it was hilarious. It was like a light jump scare, but it wasn't to the level that she needed to scream on.
It was hilarious, and I couldn't stop laughing after she screamed because it's like she just walked across the room.
All she did is just walk. That's it. She just walked. And I know you guys know what we're talking about. She just walks across, and nothing seems to really happen, but she screamed like, she was like, oh!
Yeah, but it was that silent setup. So it's like you're braced for something to happen because it's all this silence.
True,
and then she screams, and all that happened when she walked across the room. It was good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
And on top of being good, there's so many like fun moments, scary moments, weird moments. This movie brings a lot of layers to it. Were you surprised at how deep it got?
I was very surprised. I was impressed and just so excited about how deep it was.
Okay.
Because looking at the trailer, you think it's just a weird situation of, a black guy meeting his white girlfriend's parents, and it just gets awkward and weird. But it was so much deeper than that. I mean, the psychological aspects of it were just so much deeper. The whole, oh my gosh, we could just go so deep in the racial, issues, and just, it was fantastic. If you're one of those people who love a movie that you analyze and can talk about and has these different aspects, this is it. I mean, it's fantastic.
So there's a, you have your level of racism. But then you have these different interactions or microaggressions that go on during this party, talking about, how strong he is, or, how ideal his frame is, and, different dinner situations. Also talking about his fear about, what went on with his mother in the past. There's so much that plays into what got him there. And then there's so much that plays into after, when we get the reveal of the girlfriend and everything, how cold and calculating she is, and how the family is about this, and how they've discovered how to do this to create, another control over the black body, if you would. Yeah. It's another mode of slavery, if you will.
Absolutely, and I love that aspect, or that layer of it, of how they just kind of brought the whole slavery aspect into more contemporary times, if you will. It was very smart. Very smart.
Yeah, and on top of being smart, the movie's also funny. You got Lil Rel in there. You got Erica Alexander. What up, girl? I ain't seen you in a minute.
Hey, girl.
But the movie doesn't let you forget that it can be funny and that it can be your analog into the experience, because Lil Rel pretty much plays us in the film, where it's like, yo, there's something not right about this. This is kind of weird. Even when he gets hypnotized, he kind of brushes it off. And that's a very extremely, deep disrespect of his consent. And it's just kind of, he just kind of brushes it off, I guess, because you just want to get by. You just want to let it ride.
And I have to say, we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
I think that was more a man thing. Had that been a black woman, oh no, you're not fitting to hypnotize me after I done told you no, and you all up in my mind and stuff. It would be like, I'm out. You can stay here and do what you want to do, but I'm out. That was way over the line.
Yeah, it was
way over the line, and I know me personally, I just couldn't have stayed there, because at that point, I don't trust you in any way, shape, or form. You don't respect me. That's the other thing. You have no respect for me.
Very true.
I'm in this vulnerable place where all of you know each other. I don't know any of you. I'm your guest. And you have made me feel completely uncomfortable. You have completely disrespected me.
Yeah.
I'm gone. I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not worth it at that point to try to salvage anything that could have happened.
No.
And when it comes to like Lil Rel, when he starts doing his detective work, because the TSA, they do detective work.
Okay.
All right. They, you know,
they
don't
have the
sleep.
same training.
They got
detectives.
the same training,
I didn't
man.
know that, but now you know.
It's the same training. All right. Just so you know, they get the same skills as regular cops. Even more, because they doing terrorists. You know, cops just doing pickpockets or something. They doing terrorists. They doing the top stuff.
But you know what? We can't hate on him because he got his boy in the end.
Yes, he did. Yes,
he got him.
He did that. He did that thing. Now, the acting was cool. The acting was on point.
Yeah.
The characters were on point. Who shined for you in this movie? Like, who like really stood out?
I have to say the girlfriend.
Okay.
Because
I'm with you.
You caught it first, but I didn't know that she was in on it until after you said it. And then I realized, oh, well, she had to say, let's take a walk so they could do the auction. That's a whole other issue. They did an auction on him. Yeah. She was scary good.
Yeah. And shout out to the actress, because the scene where she's on the phone and she has the stone face, but she's giving all the emotion through the voice. Oh, she was. Yeah. You know, look, brothers, look, just I'm just, you see my wife. I'm just telling you. All right, now.
And we gonna give it to you all up in here. You gonna look. Okay.
I'm just telling you. Now, the reveal is crazy because he finally decides, yo, I got to get out of here, because that box was given to him. He gets to see the box, and he sees the pictures of her with all these other black guys when he's supposed to be her first. Whenever a girl says you her first, just look. Let's skip that. All right, look, the box. The box gives everything away. He starts seeing people that are at the house, and he knows he has to go. Like, immediately, he has to get the heck up out of there. And that's
he knew that before the box.
True.
He was packing to go, but he was taking the old girl with him. He was packing to go, and then the closet was conveniently left open, and this box was conveniently left right at the edge of the closet for him to see.
Good point.
Still a mystery who did that. I think it was the maid, but then that doesn't make sense because she was hypnotized. I don't know. Maybe there was a part where she had like a little bit of control over her body or something. Because we did see she had those twitches where she was, kind of snapped out of it for a moment, or was battling with it somehow.
Maybe she was the strongest one to be able to kind of fight with it, because she did cry and stuff like that. So that was crazy.
Because they did say that you would a little part of you would still be left. So that
like
was
a passenger.
That was a little part of her, I think, that was still left. I know we're skipping over a whole lot, but
we're just talking. This is just a discussion about the film. Yeah. Now, like, what do you think about the scene when he's finally in the basement that they said was full of black mold? That's why you can't go down there. No, it's because it's a little psychological torture dungeon. But what did you think about the explanation? Like, when they gave it to him, what did you think about that scene as a whole? Like, the way that room was set up, the way it was shot, the way it showed, like, the deer, the moose, whatever it was. You know, how did you like the setup of that room? Because that room, for me, was very, very claustrophobic in the way they shot it. It was very weirdly scary in the way the room was.
And I think that's exactly what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, it was like very strangely closed in, strangely trapping, surrounding. Yeah. It was just,
I think that was
creepy.
I think that was exactly what it was supposed to be. And I think the deer head represented, just like any hunter who puts a deer head on their wall, it's a representation of what they mastered,
of their,
what they captured.
Their, conquests or whatever.
Right. And, I think that was exactly what it was supposed to be. And I think, because he kept looking at it, and I think in his mind, he was like, that's the deer.
Me. Yeah, that's me.
They may as well have me up on the wall, or maybe they planned to put me up on the wall. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, so I'm hoping you guys love this film, because I love this film, and I'm going to have to give this film That's right. 5 stars, because this joint from front to back was just dope. What do you give it?
I give it a 5. I absolutely give it a 5, and I love how in the end you had all these black couples that were still sitting there. Everybody else had gone, but it's like we all had to sit there.
There were like 4 different black couples just sitting in there like
what just happened? What huh? Ooh, it was So we all had to get ourselves together. That tells you that it was
yeah. Now speaking of the ending, how did you like that? How did you like how we finally got that very end spot when he's, leaving in the car. He hits the lady and he takes pity on her, unknowingly. And then, even to the moment when when the TSA shows up.
I loved it because they were still thinking about, we're going to still take you up and down. Yeah. All the way to the end. We're going to take you up and down. I love the part where, we think, okay, he's out. He made it to the car. He's out. But then he hits the lady. And I'm sitting there going, look, she on her own. Look, you got to just leave her. I'm sorry. Say a little prayer. You got to go. But he battled with it. And he's like, man, I got to take her because she's a victim too. Not knowing that grandma's brain is in there. Yeah. So this is really grandma.
Yeah.
But I loved it.
Yeah. And even the moment after, waking up the guy that was inside, granddad's, I guess, body host or whatever, waking him up and then having him shoot the girlfriend and then immediately shoot himself was very telling of the torture he's gone through in the sunken place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then to see the police lights show up, we're all thinking, man, this is over. Man, dang.
Yeah, this looks bad. You have all these bodies around you. Yep. You have the gun. You're hovering over, this white girl who's dying. And so he just immediately put his hands up like, I ain't gonna even say nothing. Just, yeah.
So there's one small part that I'm not sure if everybody noticed, but when he's choking his girlfriend to death, she smirks at him, which is very interesting because I thought that was going to be the moment where he woke up and realized he was still in the sunken place. I thought that's what they were going to do. But of course he got saved, everything was cool. But there's a moment where she smirks at him and I'm just like, yo, she is evil. This girl is crazy.
But I mean, her parents warped her mind.
True.
They started this when she was little. We saw the picture.
Yeah, she
had no chance.
It was normal to her.
Yeah, her mother is a psychologist who
super crazy.
Who was super crazy and did psychological things to people like some cartoon villain. So
true. Well, anyway, guys, that is our time. That's how we felt about the film. We hope you loved it too. And if you loved it, jump down in the comments. Let's talk about Get Out. We might as well. It's been out for like a month now, y'all. So it's like, look, we can talk about it. But anyway, of course, before I bounce, I got to tell y'all to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. You can check out all my videos from the latest to the greatest, the oldest to the newest, and holla at me. Drop me a line. And don't forget to hit up shop.thatnerdsoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt, player. And don't forget one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that Nerd Soul because there is no way that I can tell you like what you are watching. And of course, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Peace.
Bye.